Hey guys, Jennifer Hobbs here. Hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. I just wanted to get on here and chit chat a little bit with you. I've had the opportunity over the last couple of days to have some really incredible conversations with other veterans and non veterans. And one of the things that we chatted about was post traumatic growth. And that might be a new term to you today. You might be so used to hearing post traumatic stress or post traumatic stress disorder, all of those little words and terms that we probably have heard a lot about, maybe aren't even that familiar with, but have definitely heard about. So, let's chat about post traumatic growth in case you didn't know much about it, because this would be definitely something that is near and dear to my heart and I'm super passionate about. 2 years ago, as I was starting the journey of writing my first book, check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my background. If you have read my first book, Calmed Growth After Trauma, it talks about a traumatic year on deployment and then the growth and the healing that came from it. And the second book I'm working on is a continuation of that, really focusing on the growth and healing post deployment and post trauma. So, post traumatic growth, as I was saying, 2 years ago, I read a book that first introduced that term to me, and that was Struggle Well, Thriving in the Aftermath of Trauma by Ken Falk and Josh Goldberg. And in it, they talk about this process of post traumatic growth where someone who has experienced trauma, not just a veteran, but many other people who have experienced trauma, the loss of a loved one, cancer, rape, assault, all of these different things that can happen in our lives that cause trauma, that cause the effects of post traumatic stress. And so, in the book, I learned that post traumatic growth is the process in which it involves about five different entities that make up this journey of post traumatic growth. And it starts with you just really being in touch with yourself and identifying where you are with it. Like we all know that life is going to throw these challenges at us, and so it is important how what we do with them. Post traumatic growth within those five different realms that I spoke of, different components. One of them is new possibilities. So, what does that mean, Jennifer? What I'm saying is you can't change the past, but the things that you've been through, the little things that were challenging, the medium, the really, really big, huge, hard things in your life, some of which are even traumatic. Good things, I shouldn't even say good. New possibilities can come from that. You can gain good things from that, positive things like more resiliency and perseverance, growth in yourself, more love for yourself, better connections with others. And that's another component of post traumatic growth, close relationships, and accepting the fact that you don't have to do this on your own. Life is not made, we are not built to trudge along, drive on, and do it on your own. Like accepting the fact that you do need others in the good times and in the bad times. So, those are two components of the post traumatic growth process: new possibilities and close relationships. The other three, one being gratefulness after being through something traumatic. On your post traumatic growth journey, you might have a different outlook on life. You might be more grateful for things than you were before. And so there we go. There is something positive that comes from trauma. For me, here's just a little side note and a small giggle, especially for those of you that have been in this situation. When I returned from deployment, 15 months deployment in 2004, I had returned in 2005. And people had asked me, like, what was your favorite thing to get back to? Like, what did you miss so much that you were grateful for? And my answer was showering without shower shoes. You take small things like that for granted. And when you're put 15 months to shower in shower shoes, in a shower where the wind is blowing the disgusting shower curtain in to touch you. Here I am complaining about having a shower, but getting back to not wearing shower shoes was definitely something I was grateful for. And through the post traumatic growth journey, through the challenges, through the self reflection, through finding myself and connecting with others, it leads me to the fourth component of post traumatic growth, which is personal strength. Again, going back to knowing like life is going to challenge you. People are going to challenge you. People are going to doubt you. It continues. You can have so much success, or maybe you don't even have this plethora of success and, oh, everything you hope and dream about hasn't happened yet. People are going to judge you, but just knowing that you are strong enough to take on those adversities and overcome the fear and the judgment. And then finally, the fifth component would be like your spiritual development. And I'm not talking about religious development. I think at this point, those are two words that are starting to get identified in society more. People are like, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. So like, let's just refer to it as spiritual development, whether that is following a higher power or God or nature, energy, whatever it is. Like people who have experienced traumatic events, as they continue to grow, you tend to grow spiritually, however that might look for you. And fortunately, in the post-traumatic growth process, that gives you something to hold on to as you continue to get these new possibilities that come your way, and these connections with others, and identifying that you need them. And so there is just a little PBS clip for you. Jennifer Hobbs hopefully shed a little bit of light on something maybe you didn't know about post-traumatic growth. So as you start to see people who have been through traumatic things, and you start, maybe even yourself, and you start to see them get better, you might start to identify these 5 different components, and they may align with what you see with the growth in other people. I'm a huge just fan of post-traumatic growth. I think just coming to the point in my life and identifying that I will not be defined by the things that have happened to me. Other people do not need to be defined by the things that have happened to them or the choices that they have made, but rather pressing on, moving forward, given the space to what has happened, the hard times, the bad times, the traumatic times, and using those as you continue on your path of post-traumatic growth to find a place where you are not just being resilient all the time, but rather thriving in the way that you thrive the best. I hope you take something away from that. And I hope, like I said, that you have a fabulous Tuesday. Join me tomorrow on Celebrate the Struggle, where I will be interviewing Jeremy Wells, who is a veteran as well. And he is now a business owner for firearms safety and training. And he's pretty cool dude with an amazing mission and passion that I can't wait to share with all of you on my show. Until then, deuces.